Hello everyone, just want to do a quick video about managing risk. The biggest thing that we all do on a daily basis is manage risk. So you might have seen over the last few months I've been taking part in some kind of more risky programs, only because I want to test them. I've got a program myself that takes a number of programs and put them in a single system. So really I'm testing them to find which ones work long term so I can put them in my system, because members rely on me to put in these trustworthy programs. So I test a lot of things out on an ongoing basis, but I look at the risk versus reward. So for example, there's some really high risk programs such as Gladiator Coin. I see it's very high risk, and I don't know how a company can pay out that kind of money. I've entered it to see if it work, see if there's any longevity in the company. I can't imagine there is, but I know there's money to be made by others who are promoting it. I won't promote it. I want to see if it's got longevity and how it works. That's it for me. I haven't put a lot of money in it. And there's other programs I put $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 in. So I'm at a stage really where I can risk a bit more money. So I can go into these high risk programs. I can spread my risk across many programs. Some fail. For me, it doesn't matter. I'm achieving a number of goals that I kind of set out for myself, which is help others, not put them into high risk kind of programs, not bring those high risk programs into the multi-stream system. In the multi-stream system, I want proven, decent, long-term programs. So because these things take time to work, they take time to mature. So I want them to be very, brilliant longevity. Obviously, I can't say for certain, but I want the longevity to be there. Decent business model, so that means there'll be longevity, but there's also rewards for people. So that's what I want from the multi-stream system. I want new people to come into the multi-stream system, which is my program, and have results. They may be slower than some of these fast fix programs and high yield investment programs, them type of things, but I really want results, proven results from proven systems over a long period of time. That's why at the minute there's 5 or 6 programs in there. 3 are live, the others are waiting to go on, which I've been testing for a while. So the bottom line really is, if you're new and you've only got enough money, say a few $100s, don't spread across many platforms, because you're not compounding your money in the right way. If you've only got a small amount to invest it in one program. Get that one program working first. And I would say at the minute that's probably MyPound Crypto Ads. That's the one at the minute which is giving good returns. The Bitcoin's gone crazy, and they're still relatively low to get into. Not a lot of money to buy your ad packs. Get referring. If you're an active referrer, get referring. Don't be afraid of referring people. If you need help on how to refer, jump on a call with me. I'll help anyone and everyone in multi-stream system or outside multi-stream system. I want to help as many people as I can. So I can spread my risk. Right? That's what I'm doing. Instead of putting $50,000 into one program, I'm going to spread it over many. So if one fail, say a high risk one fails, it doesn't matter. Hopefully by the stage that happens, I would have got my money back out. And this is a typical thing with your programs that are out there. Some are really high risk. The business models just do not work. I fail to see how anyone can set up a business like some of these programs out there and think this is a viable business model. They obviously haven't done any projections, and they think just money's going to appear from somewhere to pay people, which is just bonkers. But again, I will still go into those programs for other people. I can show other people that they work. They don't work, or the business model is just completely and utterly nuts. When you invest in one program like MyPound Crypto Ads, you can focus all your attention on that one program. You can grow that one program. You can put your money to the best work in that one program. You can promote one program. I'd never try and promote over 3 or 4 anyway, unless it's the multi-stream system. You can promote that as one system, but try and build. So if you've got, say, $500, I would do 50% MyPound Crypto Ads, 25% in the others. So that's the way I'd focus on MyPound Crypto Ads, because it is the one that's going to give the highest yield, the most stability. And you can focus on driving people to that, getting people underneath you into that system. When you it's about risk and risk. So in the beginning, you don't want to start with high risk activities, because unless you've got spare money. So when I say spare money, I mean you want an emergency fund, then you want your kind of income for the next however amount of time you want it for. So for me, it's 6 months to a year. I've got a year's worth of money always there, so I can be productive. I can not worry about the fear of not paying bills. I haven't got to worry about, you know, day-to-day living. My bills are covered. I haven't got to worry. So I can invest in things, not driven by fear, but driven by rational thinking. And then the next set is where you're in your low risk. You want to invest in low risk places first. So banks, bank accounts, which I don't like personally, and things like that. Things with low risk but low return, like 1 to 2% is what a bank is. Then you got your kind of medium risk, which is my paying ads, my paying crypto ads, FutureNet. They're kind of low risk for what they are in the programs. Then you got your medium risk, which are programs that come along like CrypTrade, those type of programs. I see them as a medium risk, and the business model look like it'll work, but not necessarily long term. They're still too early to be proven as a long term business model. Then you got high risk, which I see as things like Gladiator Coin. Obviously, it's been around for a few months now, and for someone to give you double bank the money you put in 90 days and give all the affiliate commissions they give, it can't be a viable business model. I don't understand how people think it can. Obviously, you've got the stacking effect. People keep putting money in. So I view that as a high risk. That should be one of the last business models that you actually put into. Obviously, this is only, I'm not an investment advisor. I'm not. I'm just speaking from what I do personally. So when I started, I focused solely on e-commerce, and then as things come along, I increased it, and now I've got plenty of income streams. Luckily, all the income streams are working for me, and that means I make hopefully hundreds of thousands per month, which is obviously a lot of money. So it's about, and if you haven't got money to get started, if you really want to work online, if you really want this lifestyle, and it is an awesome lifestyle, then work for it. Do extra hours at work. You know, that's what I did. Done extra hours. I started with zero. I literally started with zero. I grew a company to £150,000 a month with zero. I lost that company, and then I've built back up again. So I've took the company to multi-million pounds. I've lost it. I had to start again. I lost everything at that point. I had to start again with another business model. And then I've got business models now, single business models where I'm earning, hopefully touching on $100,000 a month, most of which is profit. So you start with a low risk. You've got a really low risk. The lowest risk is hustle. It's just using your hustle. So getting paid per hour, freelancer.com, people per hour, all these type of things. Garage sales where you've got money coming in, and invest that money. Don't kind of sit on the fence and don't put the work in. A couple of hours work a day is all it needs. 2 or 3 hours, all the spare time you've got to really want it. I've wanted this for more than anything, and that's why I've got it. I have now got it. I'm comfortable. I haven't got to worry about paying the bills, hopefully the rest of my life. I can do what I want when I want. So I've just come in from the garden. It's nice not just coming from the garden after a half-hour snooze in the sun. It's those kind of things. So if the goal is big enough, if where you want to get to is big enough, I'd follow those steps. Start by leveraging your time. So per hour, getting more money so you can invest in things, you can look at things, grow your emergency funds, and then I would grow so you've got some comfort, so you're not driven by the fear of losing your emergency funds, and then I'd start looking at programs and everything else. Obviously, that's not the emergency funds and things. The first time wasn't the way I did it. I just went hell for leather, and it worked. The second time I got a bit wiser, and I put things in place to make sure that I'm not driven by fear. I'm driven by the end goal of what I want. And they're two very different drivers. When you're driven from fear, it only pushes you so far. Fear will push you into your comfort zone, and then the fear will subside, and then what will happen is you will just go backwards, and you'll hit fear again, then you'll come out, and it goes like that. So I'm driven by this goal up here. So I'm driven away from fear, and then what happens is I'm pulled towards my goals, and that's why everything I do is so focused, and I can hammer out a good amount of work where maybe other people can't. Don't get me wrong, I relax and everything as well, but it's about the time you're on your laptop, about making the most of that time on your laptop by not looking at Facebook. I'm sure we've all, all these notifications going off, oh, what's happening here? Ignore frigging Facebook, it's a waste of time. Apart from networking, it's good for networking. Set aside 2 hours A good technique is also 40 minutes work, 20 minutes doing something else. Looking at Facebook, 40 minutes work, 20 minutes doing something else, because you can obviously burn out. But if you can focus solely on work for 40 minutes, whatever that may be, an hour, and reward yourself with a little coffee or a stretch or a walk, that's the perfect thing to do, and that does improve your efficiency. So sorry if I rambled on a bit. This was more about how you move up in the ranks, you know, how you start investing a bit wiser, how you start not spreading your money across 10 different programs. You don't need to go to all these different programs when you're starting out. When you've got a bit of money, I think it's a good thing to do, because you're spreading your risk across high risk, medium risk and low risk. So the low risk normally pay the least as a business model. The high risk normally pay the most the quickest, which makes them kind of high risk because they pay out so much there's not a long-term viable business model. I hope that kind of helped. I'll go into more depth on this subject. That was just someone just I was just speaking to someone, Stacey actually. I had a quick couple of messages from her, and I thought that's a good video to do to hopefully give you some idea of what you need to be doing to make this kind of stuff work. I'm going to be doing much more videos on how to make this work, how to put the time in, how to really focus yourself, how, even on goals, on how you market, loads of different things. I'm going to do tons of videos. We're just waiting for some final big bits of code to be done on multi-stream system, and then I'm going to start going into videos in more details, so that they complement the multi-stream system as well as help anyone not in the multi-stream system. I hope that helped a little bit, and I'll speak to you on the next video. Bye bye.